Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Let me make sure I have my settings right. Yep, I do. Okay. Make sure I'm in the right mic. Hello and welcome. If you are new here, welcome to tonight's live. If you're a returning Titan, which a lot of you are, welcome back. It's good to see everybody. Get my camera on here. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting the like button, it really helps the channel, helps get the video out there into the algorithm. If you've never been on my channel before, I'm Tanya, or TitaniumBuilt, whichever you prefer. I don't prefer one over the other. Mindy, are you a new member? You are a new member. I thought you were a member before. And we had another one too, I saw. Let me go up there. So Judith, if you're still in here, thank you for becoming a member. And then Mindy, there she is, coming in hot with the membership. I love that. I love it. Little family here. Speaking of families, before we get started, I wanted to let you guys know about my dog. I let you guys know, last night on the live, I was telling you, it had been like, I thought it had been like 4 days. My dog had been sick and I didn't know what was going on with her. And well, we switched everything out last night because what happened was we switched her dog food. That's when she got really sick. So we figured it was the dog food, but we switched water, dog food, the bowls. We got her new toys. We got her new bones. We got her extra bones, make her feel special and loved. I mean, the whole nine. And today was a good day. She's been doing pretty good today. She's been doing actually fantastic today. So thanks for the prayers. They worked. So last night I did post a picture on the community tab. She was laying beside me and I was like, oh, and she never usually stays there. She usually will get down on her bed, but she wanted to be up there. So I'm thankful that you guys were helping me out with her. So yeah, I was so scared. Oh my gosh. And then of course, when Vincent's off work and I have a second hand to help me clean up the madhouse, she's been fine, that's fine. I'm fine with it as long as she's fine. But she gave me a run for my money this week, so. But she's doing good now. She was wagging her tail earlier. She was eating. I was just wanting her to eat, her own food. We gave her a plain bagel today, we were eating, just get something in her stomach. And that kind of helped get her stomach worked up. And she ate a little bit of dog food. And I was like, yes. So that's, it's always a good sign when they're, they're eating and everything. And I know it's just the dog food, but it scared me. I don't like her not feeling good. I don't like that. Y'all got babies. I can't even imagine. No, not both of them, Mindy. Oh, if I had 2 Weimaraners, I'd be in trouble. She asked if both of them were Weimaraners. Just one. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Because they are very high energy. Extremely high energy. They love to be right around you, on top of you. I need to do little TikToks with her. She's hilarious. I'm making one. I'm in the process of making one where I'm working out and all my poses, I take pictures of her because her head is just in an awkward position every time. It's funny. So yeah, I don't think they're the same, but I think that it's just the timing of them all coming out. Those people like Dave, Kim, Enan, Justin, and then Justin whipping it back around for a second haul. I think it's just, the timing is just cool. It's just kind of coincidence, you think? And then also, none of these people that are coming out, they're all on YouTube. No one's picking up the story. Dateline didn't pick them up last night. Banfield ain't running with the story. If Banfield ain't running with it, and I love Banfield, but if she can find info, she'll get info. And if you guys remember, I just remember this, Nancy Grace, when she talks about, who's the guy in her podcast? Chris McDonough, that guy. She said she met him because she was trolling YouTube looking for Brian Kohlberger content. So if she's trolling, she says Nancy's out there trolling, she'd probably have seen these videos. Don't you think she would, if they were credible, she would want them on her show? I don't know. That's what I would think. When someone was in here the other day, they were like Banfield, and I thought they were really going on Banfield. I was like, what? I was like, insert foot, but I wouldn't doubt it. I am on TikTok. My handle is it? I think it's at TitaniumBuilt. I know Summer will know. I know that Nightbot knows. It'll come up here in a minute. I think I'm going to make them all at Titanium_build because that's just easier that way. But I'll have to look for you because I do like to do a TikTok here and there. I'm not a big like user of the app, but if I was, I would never get off of it. Let me turn it down so I don't get in trouble. It's at TitaniumBuilt. That's so crazy that I didn't know. Yeah, we're up to 320 people. My Poppy and Aria account does really good on TikTok, but I haven't posted in a while. So I do have some stuff to go over from Dateline. I'm still waiting on them to post. Okay, so Dateline normally will go on to like YouTube the following day. But I think that they're making it like 2 days or something because it's not on here today. And I was like, what? But so I could watch it on demand, but if I stream it on demand, it'll still, I think since it's through my TV, it'll still strike me. So I'm waiting on it to hit YouTube and then stream it through YouTube. But I figured you all didn't miss much if you didn't get to see it. It was hyped up. I was so hyped. I was like, I can't wait. I'm going to watch it this morning. I'm going to take some notes and just, that way I, had some notes and stuff going. And I started watching it and I was like, where's the tea? I was waiting on like something like, I don't know. There were some things that came out and if they're true, then it's like, whoa. But if they're not true, then it's like, we're kind of, we're I don't know, I feel like we're beating a dead horse in a way. Way too many commercials. I know, Mindy. And if you watched it on demand, you had to sit through the commercials still. I was like, oh. So literally and Mindy's right. You got like 20 minutes worth of info in 2 hours. So yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, if she's the informant, Frenchie. Ooh, I don't know. If the BK, she said, if the info about BK's sister and being suspicious on him is true, I wonder if she's the informant. She could be. I was thinking if it was either sister, it might have been the one that works in mental health. Because, I don't know, that's where my brain was going. So I'm not going to be able to stream it live. Well, because it was on last night. So we're going to wait for it to like hit onto YouTube. If it doesn't come on in a couple of days, I might try to do it through my Spectrum. I just don't want to get a strike. It's not like copyright. It's an actual like strike. And if you get 3 on your channel goes away. So, but you can watch it on demand. I have Spectrum TV. I know that, I'm trying to think. Is it Peacock? Is that the right one? I know that there's one that you can get a trial. Like you could try to do a trial. I don't know. I just did it on my Spectrum, but I saw that there was one. But I am going to stream it as soon as it'll let me. It's not there to let me do it. And then because like what gets you is like in the background when people are talking, they'll play like the melodramatic music. And as soon as it hits that, it's like, who made this? It's not freaking Lil Wayne back here, rapping. It's like some elevator music. ABC Peacock. Okay. Oh, it's on YouTube TV right now. Okay. I have Prime or Premium. It's not on mine though. Oh, I don't have TV. Oh, Summer, you be having the YouTube TV? You be having money like that, Summer? Dang, because YouTube TV is expensive. It's like $70 a month or something, isn't it? Well, you're welcome. G. Bush, you're very welcome. NBC, because I had them wrote down because I had a list of like things that was like don't stream, because what we did was we did them all. We did the Dateline, the 48 hours, the 2020, the Roku. There was one on Roku I found even, and then one on Hulu. And then I saw another creator try to do it on Hulu, and it was Crime Sleuthin'. She tried to do it on her channel back when she was around, and it zapped her live. And I was like, oh. And it didn't zap mine, but it zapped hers. And I was like, okay, after that, I was too scared. So basically what tonight is, I have a bunch of stuff I'm still going to show you that's going to go over everything. Court TV came out with some stuff. There's more documents that come out. They are having, we already knew they're having 3 different meetings or, court proceedings on Monday. But I was going to go over those a little more with you guys because we didn't go over them. For a very basic cable, yeah, $200. Yeah, Mindy, it's ridiculous. YouTube TV is great. Is it really worth it? It's cheaper than cable, really? I guess, yeah. We have cable. But we have internet through our cable. I just remember we got it one time and we had that and cable. And we were paying for both. And we were like, we have to quit one of these. That's why I was like, dang, girl. Listen to me over here busting out Summer. She's like, you know how much hair I had to do for that YouTube TV? That's how I used to count my money anyway. When I served, how many people do I need to serve to get this? Yeah, so it's not on, it's on you, so it's like on YouTube TV now. It's not on the actual like YouTube app yet. Like YouTube has its own TV provider. Yeah, it's like you can do Fire Stick, Chromecast, Roku. I think it's going to be live, or is it going to be, oh, you mean like Court, Kevin? So Court is not going to be, we're going to go kind of backwards. We're going backwards in time. My notes are going in a different direction, but we'll go this way. Saw this on, this is going to be really small, so I'm going to try to blow this up for you guys. Oops. Okay. So basically, this is what is going to go down when Brian goes to court on Monday. How we're going to be able to see it, stream it, and all of that good stuff. So this is kind of blurry, so I'm going to turn my camera off while I read it. I don't know. It's probably because I blew it up, but it says, so overflow room, polling, hearing updates, and the state versus Brian Kohlberger. And the overflow room and a polling room is basically rooms that are for like media and things of that nature. It says some updates regarding Monday's hearing at the Latah County Courthouse in the state versus Kohlberger. Seating in the courtroom for the 9 a.m. arraignment hearing will be first come, first serve as indicated in the courtroom conduct order issued this week. And we read that earlier this week. Should the hearing courtroom fill up, overflow seating will be provided in a second courtroom as was previously done in this case. With the in-person arraignment hearing now added to Monday's schedule, the status conference and motion hearings set for 10 and 11 a.m. will also be held in person. So that's why they're gonna have the 3 hearings. Once again, seating will be available in both courtrooms for these hearings. As a courtesy, we're passing along this information provided to the court about poll media for Monday. Court TV will operate the poll video cameras inside the courtroom. Court TV will allow people to plug in on site to receive a feed after, and will also put a video on YouTube for distribution that way. Como, I don't know how to say that, Como, and the Associated Press are not pool, but will help distribute the video further. They will share it via satellite uplink with various Seattle TV stations who can provide it to their network affiliates. The AP will get a copy from Como and also forward that to various contacts. Still photography will be handled by the Lewiston Tribune. So that must be their maybe local paper there, Lewiston Tribune. So that's what's going on in court on Monday. So basically what they're going to do is court TV is going to be their camera's going to be their setup. They're going to have all the good shots probably, hopefully, since it's court TV. And then they're going to put it out like a video later. So it's going to be kind of like right after. I'm hoping that they do some sort of like Nancy Grace kind of some stuff like that, where she in the Alec Murdaugh trial, she did, morning and then she did like afternoon, like she split it up into 2 so we can get at least like a couple videos from it, But at least I just want to see what he looks like. I want to see what he sounds like now. I don't care if he's in there for 2 minutes, 2 hours. I just want to see it. I'm here for it. I wish we could stream it. Oh, and Jan and Margot, I'm thinking of you guys today. I saw your guys' comments. I'm so sorry. I'm a little late on my sorries, but I always get there. because I know that Jan's listening. And Teresa's having a good time on that cruise, you know? It's been a couple of days. I thought cruises were short. She's like, I'm out, guys. She's going to come back with such a rockin' tan. It's going to be great. So let me share this with you here. These came out on the 19th. What's today? The 20th. They'd be dropping records, court documents on the weekend. Or wait, I guess it's Saturday. I keep thinking it's today's Sunday, guys. And this is just going to go over the courtroom proceedings too, but it says the state of Idaho versus Brian Kohlberger. Let me share that with you there. That might help. If you're just now joining us, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, it really helps the channel grow. Subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit, what is it, 8,000 subscribers by the end of the weekend. We are at 7954, so we're doing really good. And I'll pull up a live count too throughout the live. So if you guys are like, I think I'm subscribed to the channel, just double check and make sure, you know. It's I'm like, I got 2 days, I could do it. I need to, you know, make myself like little step, like, I don't know, you know, I'm trying to think of the word goals, like little goals. And I want to get to 10,000 Titans so we could do a giveaway. It's going to be a good one. Oh, and that's okay if you spell my name wrong. I get it all different ways. Someone spelled it wrong one time and they were like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I was like, I don't take offense to that at all. Like, I answered them, you know. I was like, I usually get called Tanya, even though it's Tanya because of the way it's spelled, which makes sense to me. I mean, Tanya. But my mom had to be weird. Love her. God love her. She did that because of my brother. His name's Anthony, so Tony for short. And we're 9 years apart, and she was stuck on the name Tanya, so that's why I have an A there. Thanks, Ma. Too bad I couldn't get on a plane tomorrow and, you know, go to Idaho and be there. That would be nice, but I can't. Too bad, though. I'm like, why can't I really? I'm like, oh, thank you for gifting memberships. Chosen Rosen, that was so nice. Oh, that was so nice. So this document here is just about it says order regarding notice of hearing Zoom information. It's basically this Zoom information. It says the court is mindful and that limited courtroom capacity and potential travel restrictions may interfere with the victims and the defendant's family's ability to observe the court proceedings in this case. Therefore, in the event that they are unable or prefer not to attend the proceedings in person, the court finds it necessary to make the court proceedings available via Zoom for the victims and the defendant's immediate family members under the following restrictions. It is hereby ordered the victims and the defendant's immediate family members may observe the court proceedings in person or via Zoom. It has like it's redacted, the meeting ID and the passcode. The Zoom information above shall not be dismissed or disseminated to anyone other than the victims and the defendant's immediate family members. Any recording or live streaming of the proceeding is prohibited. So sticky fingers out there, y'all. Y'all get your hands on this. Don't be streaming it. So that's what I was going to ask, Kakala. Do you know if since they're moving it to a district court, are they moving it to a different courthouse, like a bigger courthouse? Or is it the same courthouse? Because the magistrate court was at the Latah County. Is that where he's going? That was my question for y'all. Because I was like, I didn't catch that. It didn't say anything about it. So, and like, you know, the Dateline episode, and I haven't heard it anywhere. So, like, I haven't heard them saying they're transporting him anywhere. So, I'm going to assume it is the same one. But like where I come from, and I don't know if this is just like where I come from, like my small town, but we have a courthouse for like misdemeanor offenses, like small, like, you know, misdemeanor kind of offenses. And then you go up to like felony court, like, you know, like to like, maybe that's district or I don't know. I just know it's like, there's one that's like, ooh, that's like the big courthouse. You don't want to be in that one. And then there's the smaller one that's for misdemeanors. So if anyone knows that, let us know in the chat. I bet you someone will come in here with an answer. So that's all that document said there. That's the second one here. These ones are just really small. So it just says it's a motion hearing at 11 a.m. with Judge Joe or John Judge. I'm still going to get his name wrong. John Judge. I can't get over it. My doctor, I used to have a dentist, Dr. Toth, and it was spelled Toth, and it looked like tooth almost, just missing the O, you know? So it's kind of like this, but yeah. Yeah, so this is for, this is the notice of hearing here for 11 a.m. And then, I'm trying to get back to here. This is for the second amended notice of hearing of criminal, and then this is also the same. And then this is the scheduling conference, which that means they're going to like schedule him out like after he pleads like not guilty. They'll have, I think that's when they do this, is when they do the scheduling conference. And that's when they like get their calendars marked and ready to go for trial and all of that good stuff. So yeah, me too, Michelle. And she said my area, each judge has its own courtroom. Me too. That's how it was too. I wouldn't want to share if I was a judge. I mean, you work hard to get up, you know? Plus, I mean, you sit there in that chair for all that time. I wouldn't want my ass sitting where someone else's butt's been sitting for all that time. It's a long time you sit in that chair, you know? You're in that chair 8 hours a day. I'd be like moving in my own stuff. It's going to be short. Yeah, I think it'll be short too. I just can't wait to see what he looks like. I want to see if he got like, you know, if he looks dramatically different, you know, compared to when when we last saw him in January. We haven't seen him since January 5th. So other than, I mean, not in person, just like the dashboard cams and stuff like that. So, and then this is like the last one here. And this is, the second amended under vacating hearing and setting schedule conference. It's an amended non-dissemination order. It's a motion to appeal, amend and or clarify amended non-dissemination order and a memorandum in support of motion for an appeal and or clarification of amended non-dissemination order were filed by counsel for the Gonzalez family on February 3rd, 2023. A petition for writ of mandamus or writ of prohibition, I can't say it, was filed with the Idaho Supreme Court. It has the docket number on February 6th, titled The Associated Press et al. Versus 2nd Judicial District of the State of Idaho, County of Latah, Honorable Megan E. Marshall, Magistrate Judge, related to the amended non-dissemination order in this case. A memorandum of points and authorities relating to non-dissemination order and affidavit of Latah County Prosecutor William W. Thompson, Jr. were filed by the state of Idaho on February 8th, 2023. An objection to motion to appeal, amend, or clarify non-dissemination order was filed by counsel for Mr. Kohlberger on February 9th, 2023. On February 27, 2023, the court issued a notice regarding hearing date on motion to appeal, amend, and or clarify amended non-dissemination order, providing notice that the Gonzalez motion would be set for hearing upon the issuance of the Idaho Supreme Court decision, the Associated Press versus 2nd Judicial Court. On April 24th, 2023, the Idaho Supreme Court issued an opinion dismissing the Associated Press petition for writ of memorandus or writ of prohibition. Man, I can't get that word out. On April 28th, 2023, the court issued a notice of hearing setting the Gonzalez motion to appeal, amend, and or clarify amended non-dissemination order for hearing on May 25th, 2023. So that'll be on Thursday. So they go to court, it looks like, maybe on that date. I thought they were going on the 2nd. No, they're going on the 22nd. Okay, it is right. It says it at the bottom. Sorry, I was like, wait, I thought they switched that. But on May 2nd, 2023, the Associated Press et al. Filed a motion to intervene and a motion to vacate the amended non-dissemination order. The Gonzalez motion and the Associated Press motion concerned the same subject matter and the amended non-dissemination order and should be set for hearing at the same timer for judicial efficiency. Therefore, after due consideration, it is hereby ordered that the motion hearing Gonzalez motion to appeal, amend, and or clarify amended non-dissemination order scheduled for May 25th, 2023 is vacated. It is further ordered that a scheduling conference for the Gonzalez motion to appeal, amend, and or clarify amended non-dissemination order and the Associated Press is motion to intervene, and a motion to vacate the amended non-dissemination order will be held on May 22nd, 2023 at 10 a.m. So that's when they'll have that, and that's Pacific time. So here we go with another time zone. Oops. So that was all of those documents, I think. Oh yeah, it might not happen for a while, and it's going to, yeah, it's going to be, it's going to be rough. Oh, Hulu had it? Okay. You could always sign up for the Hulu, if you didn't want to wait, you know, you could, I think Hulu has a, like a 7-day free, or maybe, I don't know. I have a Hulu. I need to stop paying for that because I don't even watch it. I'm like, hey there, Redwood. Oh, Edward. Thank you guys for being here again. Also, I really appreciate it. If you guys just now joining us, we are talking about the Idaho 4 case. We just went over the rest of the documents that just came out on Friday evening. I think we went over some on Friday evening. We must have just literally missed, like, I didn't refresh the page again, and because they probably would have popped up. Or when I got off the live, because we were on the live late that night. Oh, I was just saying hi to Eddie. And then this is who it was given to. So, let's see. Because we went backwards in time. So let's see where we're at. And I'll go over the Monday's court proceedings and everything before we get off the live. That way, you guys, everyone will hear what's going on for Monday. But if you are just joining us, I'll try to remember to say it throughout the live. Court TV is allowed to have cameras. They are allowed to have cameras in there. They're going to have 2, I guess, set up. And then someone's going to be taking still shots for the Lewiston, I think it said. It's one of their local papers, I believe. So one's Court TV videos, everything live. They will stream it to YouTube, and then we will be like vultures to get it. I can't wait. It's going to be like an Easter egg hunt. I did get my pharmacy straightened out. Thank you, Summer. The whole thing with people don't know what they're talking about. I call over there and the pharmacist like, I could get it to go through. But so I'm like, huh? So then I called my insurance company. It was on the phone 45 minutes. And they said they would make sure it was changed. And they don't know how it got switched. And I'm like, me neither. Hello there. The kangaroo, the boxing gloves. I love that. That's very cute. Oh, also, the judge in this case, since it is moving over to Judge JJ, or let's call him JJ or something. We'll think of something. But since it's being moved over to JJ's court, he may decide that, I mean, and I don't think he will I don't think this will happen. I mean, if it does, I'll fall over in my chair. But he can lift the gag order and like the non-dissemination order and stuff. So like people could freely talk. I don't think he will, but he has the power to do it. Hey, Avery, I started watching your live earlier, and you look so cute in your shawl. And I was going to comment, and then I had to get on here, and I was going to get back over when I was done. You look so cute. She got a shawl from my shop, and it looked so good on her. With your makeup, oh my gosh, in the background, she's killing it. It looked so pretty. It looked really pretty. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Hey, we can dream over here on this channel. We're factual, but we can dream. We can dream. I like the initials, Avery. I think it's kind of cool. I like it. Like I said, when I first started my channel, I didn't have a name. I had my own name. What kind of channel is that? I mean, like, your name's cool. Like, Avery Shannon, that's a cool name. I don't know if that's your last name or not, but like my name is not cool like that. No wonders why no one could find me for anything. You live and you learn. Yeah, we're dreaming big over here. In my dream, my dream is the judge lifts the gag order, and then as soon as he lifts it, Kohlberger says he's guilty, and he just goes to jail. That's my dream. The end. And the families are happy. That's all I got. But that's not going to happen. He'll fight this tooth and nail. Do you guys think he will? Do you think, okay, I have a question. Because someone actually brought this up on another, it was like Court TV, or I don't know who did it. But they said, you know how like Aiden Fucci, he went through like the whole process up until like the day that they were going to have to like, like start trial. And then he pled guilty. Do you think that this could be something like that? Or do you think that Kohlberger, if it is him, he's going to go all the way? If this was myself, I don't know. I would never do anything like that. But I could see him going just all the way with it. I mean, he already did this horrible crime. Dragging people around, that's not, I mean, I feel like that wouldn't be too much of a like difference for him. So before we get started on this, I did have an article too, but I don't even know if I'll have to really read it if I read out my notes. So if you guys didn't see the Dateline episode, I'm gonna play this for you too, but they like I was saying, they didn't drop anything like, too major. We were kind of talking about some of the stuff that they did come out with. I'm trying to think of the guy's name. The officer that was, okay, so the guy that was this guy, let me see if I can bring his like image up. This might help. Okay. This guy here. Are you kidding me? Like, I have too many things open, but, is it not going to let me share it? It's not going to let me go back. But he is a, like, ex-FBI. So he's not even, like, on the case, per se. So, I don't know. I felt that, I was like, I need to bring that up. Because he does say a lot of really good things. But he's not working on this case. He's like, FBI, stuff like that. I was kind of disappointed in it. Just because, I don't know. I think the first one was really good. This one, I think it's because I think it's because YouTube gets stuff so fast or something. I don't know. But this guy, yeah, he was just like saying a lot of different things. I think I exited out of the tab I had open, which I was really disappointed. No, I didn't. It's right here. So his name is Greg Cooper. He claims that the incident that happened, was so he believes that there was an incident that happened where Kohlberger allegedly broke into a female colleague's apartment and moved items around just to get her to ask him for help to install security cameras. So I'll say that again in case that's confusing, because it kind of is. Kohlberger, and I'm saying supposedly because I don't know if this is true, breaks into this girl's apartment to clean up or rearrange some furniture, and then leaves, and then the girl comes back, and she's like, holy crap, someone broke into my house, which I don't know why I would think that. Someone moved my stuff around. I'd be like, who the hell moved my stuff around? I don't know, But, so she said that I guess apparently this guy said that he called Kohlberger back, and Kohlberger installed security cameras. Now, I have a problem with this next part that he says. He does say, let me just open this up, like unpin this, because it'll be a lot easier. I'm trying to see where I was reading it, because it was like, it didn't make sense to me. Okay. It says, Dateline claims that he offered to put in the video network, which she agreed to. Now authorities believe that he could have accessed it remotely because he knew her Wi-Fi password. No. You cannot get into someone's security camera by knowing their Wi-Fi password. I don't know who Tom, Dick, and Harry was that made that up, but I was like, read that, and I was like, that's not right. And I was like, Vincent, engineer guy, IT guy. So, like, because we have one here and he can't even hook into it. It's only one, it only allows like one user. We had to like scan the back of it, a QR code to be able to get into the camera. I mean, if he wanted to hook up to her Wi-Fi, yeah, but he had to be close enough to her apartment to hook up to her Wi-Fi, but that still wouldn't give him access to her camera. He would have to download that app on his own. He would have to have a whole setup. You know what I mean? Like a whole profile done. So, is there an app on your Ring camera you can watch? There's not. Well, on my Ring camera, you can't just stream it. Like, you can't just open the app and just look out the peephole and stream it. It only is when there's movement. And I asked Vincent about that, and he thought maybe it's because of to save battery and stuff, because they are like, you know, a lot of them are battery operated. Yeah, you can hook up the Ring cameras anywhere. But they're saying that he accessed her Ring camera only knowing her Wi-Fi password. And no, you surely can't. But this ex-profile, Greg Cooper, claims that the incident was a step in the progression of Kohlberger's alleged offending, indicating that he was upping the ante. That's kind of how, you know, the episode was starting out, I felt like. You can see live on a Ring camera? Okay, antisocial butterfly. I didn't know. You can't on ours. And I wonder if it's the ones that are hardwired in. Do you know what I mean? Because ours is only like, oh wait, we don't have, do we ever, is Blink Ring, is that the same thing, guys? We have a Blink one. Maybe that's not Ring. Maybe it's a different, maybe mine's a different, like, one. Is Blink made by Ring? I should ask Vincent that. Surprised he's not screaming right now. Yes. No. See, I can't. So maybe mine's different. No, it's different. So that's why mine's different. I don't know. Because I just know we can't just like look out there. It's just when someone comes like, you know, within like the radius of it for it to pick up. Which is kind of weird, I think, to me. Let me grab my drink here really quick. I know I can see the live on my Blink on the app if I'm on the camera, but not on the doorbell, I didn't think. Yeah, hardwired in, yeah. I just don't see them taking the time to hardwire something in a house. But if you really wanted to look at the camera, I mean, I guess you could. We also heard about, we knew about the ID cards from the search warrant from his parents' home. It said ID cards inside of a glove, inside of a box. I believe it was number 35 on the search warrant list. Well, apparently, and I don't know where they, okay, and this is what they said, y'all. And so they cited their sources. They used that word, sources. So when Banfield cites her sources and anyone makes fun of her, I'm gonna have to say something. I'm gonna have to say something in the chat. Be like, not to y'all, but in other chats. Because I'm about to be like, no. Because Dateline was like, our sources. And I was like, oh, that's where we going with this? Because, you know, everyone gives Ashley Banfield shit about sources. So, me too, Kathy. I agree. I think Maddie was his target ID too. So this guy comes out and he says that 2 ID cards were found. Specifically 2 ID cards were found not belonging to the victims. So to me, that I was insinuating, my assumption was, after his assumption, was what if it was the 2 surviving roommates? I don't know. That's just an assumption on my part. But because the way that he worded it, he was like, the ID cards did not belong to the victims. The 4 victims, I believe he said it like that. So I don't know. I missed some of the chat. Yeah, if you know her password on the camera app, yeah. How much you miss Cat's life? Not too much, I don't think. Oh, about 40 minutes. You missed Legendary in the chat. Oh. And her shirt collar. Oh my gosh. And Banfield. I know. I like Banfield's little cream shirts. Someone was trying to say she wore the same shirt every day on their live the other night. And I'm like, it's not the same shirt. It's the same shirt color. And I'm not sure why she does it. Because her earrings are always so magnificent and sparkly. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but the girl's got good taste in earrings. But I think beige is a color that's in trend right now. Because I saw a girl do a YouTube video, like she's not a true crime. She just does like, I don't know, funny videos. And she was like, can everyone stop wearing the color beige? And I was like, no, I just bought like 3 pairs of like beige colored pants. They're like cream. No, we can't do that yet. So where else were we at? So yeah, so he's saying that they found 2 ID cards that, the gloves, the cards that were found inside a glove, inside of a box, that there was 2 of them. We were only aware of from the search warrant, and Pennsylvania can talk. I mean, they're not under a gag order. It was 2. So I wonder who the other 2 ID cards belong to. Now, I don't know. Oh, Chris, I know I'm not here to see him. I'm just here to see him. I want to see what he looks like. I don't think there's going to be any revelations coming from this proceeding. It's going to be a not guilty and a no, because he's not even going to address the judge in your honor or your, because we know that from previous. And then he'll walk his way out and we'll say, see ya when trial date is. But at least we get to see him. I want to see what he looks like. I don't care if it's for 2 hours or 2 seconds. I am ready to see him. You still think the IDs were like a trophy list? See, I thought they were, that's what I thought. I thought that they were like 2. I thought that for sure, I don't know why. My mind went for some reason to Maddie and Kaylee, because that night I saw that they didn't have purses with them. So I thought it would be easy for them just to put their ID cards out. He has a new attorney, Mindy. So he has the same attorney like Ann, and then he has like 4 now, I think. Be looking for my ID card now. Huh. I'm like, that would be, our states are too close. So, what it is, so Gonzalez, the parents can speak. It's just their attorney can't speak for them on their behalf. And something is, I don't know why. Maybe it's because they're one of those families and they demand answers and they want them and they want them. But if you guys didn't watch the Dateline, and I forgot to bring this up, did you guys all see how swole Mr. Gonzalez gotten? He has been working out. That's not big, chunky weight. Like, we saw him the other day and he had the full Manchu. Well, he shaved for Dateline, but he was huge. Like, I was like, if I was Kohlberger, even if I was innocent, or guilty, I would be terrified of that man. I'm like, So you didn't miss it? No. So we're waiting on it to come onto like YouTube so we can stream it off of there, because it would have struck my channel if I would have tried to stream it. I know it would have, because I went back through my videos and I found that was the culprit. I've only been in trouble one time on YouTube and that was it. But I try to bend the rules a little. But he is a badass man. He looks so big. I wonder if I could find that video of him with the full Manchu. Because I told Vincent, I said, okay, well, he's doing this Dateline. Maybe this is already like a pre-recorded from a couple days ago. Because I think he's going to walk into court with the facial hair. He's ready for battle, Isabel said. He is. Yeah, he's ready. I would be too if I was a father. What else did they say? They said that they believed the attacks on Ethan and Xana were collateral damage, that he didn't mean to run into them on his way out. Like he was, exiting the house, and that's when he most likely encountered one of them or both of them. And then they said also when he was exiting the house, they felt like that's why he didn't see Dylan, because he was just overwhelmed, I guess, by all of the chaos that just ensued, that he just walked on past her. Which I could see someone being so tired and just like, I couldn't imagine how tired you would be. But Jennifer Coffindaffer, she on her Twitter said she put on her Twitter page today that he can run. I don't know how she got his running little thing, but he can run a mile in like under 7 minutes, like 6 something. I'm like, now that's stamina. 6 minutes? I know you had to do under 13 to graduate, I think, at my school, and I got like 12. I was like, dying. I'm not a runner. I think the girls probably had the wallet case for their car phones. Yeah. I was thinking that too in a way, because the way that Kaylee had her phone out that night at the food truck, but I didn't see her like go into the back of it. But she could have like put her phone on there like inside it. Because I would probably wouldn't trust my ID just in my back pocket. Oh, thank you, Antisocial Butterfly. Legendary CEO of 4 Minute Mile. Ooh. Lord have mercy. I got metal in my legs. I can't do that. If I have the right music, I probably could run it a lot better, but not as much anymore. Probably not as good. So I'll share this with you. I'll go through the rest of the stuff, and then we'll watch a couple of videos. So yeah, they believed, that Dylan or Xana and Ethan were collateral damage, which that's what I think a lot of people thought that. I think a lot of people think that way anyway. I don't know if we think that way though, because they are a couple, and I don't know. I feel like in a way I think that way because they're a couple, and it's like, well, why would one person want to go after them? I think that's why my mind, went more towards, Kaylee or Maddie. And then I just more on Maddie. I don't think Kaylee was even really supposed to be there that weekend. And I think that's what there was a surprise. I think there was a surprise around every corner for this guy. He didn't think it I don't think he thought it, whoever it is, I don't think they thought it, through very good. So Crazy Grandma said, if you ever see me running, you better run for your life. Me too. For realsies. Because I don't run. But I can jog now. I'll never be able to run again, like super fast. I mean, I probably could, but I don't want to try that. But I can jog. Bring me a sandwich. Yeah. Remember that? And Mr. Gonzalez said she was like, not going to stand for that. Kaylee was like, no, not going to do that. Which, I mean, doesn't that sound like older though? Like someone saying that, like, bitch, make me a sandwich. Like, because like that's like, I feel like an R like terms. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you are, but I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like, when they said that, I was like, 20-somethings say that still? I don't know. I'm not cool. Let me see here. You think Target was Kaylee? I think it was Maddie, but that's just my opinion too. Just Samantha, do you think his own sister would say that? Absolutely not. It's their brother. And of course the lawyer would say, what? Oh, we haven't got there yet. Unless it's in the chat. Yeah, that's what I think too. I think he was just trying to get the hell out of there. I think he was trying to just get in any direction away from her. I don't think he even saw her really. Because if you do want to believe Dave, and I thought this when I said it on a live, like way back when. I thought that Dylan's room was like a closet or something. It looked like a closet. Like, it doesn't look like that's a bedroom right there. to me. Maybe a bathroom, but not a bedroom. That's who I was thinking. If it was anyone, I was thinking it was this sister. So we'll have to talk about that too. Daniel said he believes it was Maddie also. I think, well, because there was a girl on the Dateline episode, and she does bring up the Mad Greek restaurant again, and she said that they all assumed in that town that was the connection. And so if you think about it, if we're going in that direction, then it would make sense that he could have swung by there or saw her there working. She, from her videos, it seemed like she was very funny, very outgoing. I could see her probably just walking up to anyone and being like, hello, how are you? I mean, that's her personality. She works in a restaurant. You have to have that like outgoing kind of personality. Me too, Bridget. I don't know what happened in those 8 hours. I don't know. I don't know how all these kids were up at 10 o'clock in the morning either, or 8:30 when they were finding out on a Sunday. I'm like, in college, y'all ain't sleeping? I was like, their phones must have been really going off. Yeah. Let me see. I'm missing something. Oh, yeah. I've never heard of that either. Coca-Cola. Her dad never said how many wounds that she had. And that she was disemboweled. We went through all the interviews with her family recently. Let me know, like, if you can remember, like, which one it was. I'll look it up, because that's we just heard that they were severe. We never heard like how many wounds or anything like that. 54 wounds would be. I don't think he did that many. I don't think he could. I mean, that's a lot. You would be so tired. Go get a butter knife. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Don't do this. But I mean, if you're old enough, go get a butter knife and stab a pillow 54 times. I mean, and just a pillow. I don't know. That sounds like a lot, doesn't it? I mean, I know that it's possible, but 4 people, I don't know. Yeah, that's what it was. He said that the wounds didn't match. Yeah. There are points of something, he said. He put in points. I remember it now. There are points of something don't match. It was the interviewer, he says, I paid for those. It's when he's standing outside with the really, really, really cute journalist. He's like, I don't know, he's mixed, maybe black, I don't know, but he's adorable with the gloves. He had the gloves on. I remember blue, maybe. I can see it in my head. But no, there was other channels like that came out and said that Kim had stated that there were wounds that were done, she had come on and told another content creator that there was hands removed, hearts removed, heads removed. I mean, really bad stuff. So I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I hope not. Yeah, I want to see Brian's family. And I really will. I'm going to say this. I don't think that what happened to Brian's sisters losing their job, that shouldn't have happened to them. Like, that's bullshit to me. Like, I don't know how they can't sue. I mean, personally, I guess there's like some clause in there somewhere. I don't know about it, and I'm a business owner, but that's crazy. Yeah, I already answered it. Let's see. Oh, so this is what we were kind of talking about just now. It was rumored that Brian's sisters were home for the holidays, and one of his sisters had suspicions that he could have had something to do with the homicides because he was seen by his sister around the house wearing latex gloves, and she thought that that was extremely odd for her brother to be doing. So that's not an OCD behavior or something that he has. Like, you know, she was like, that's weird. Apparently, I mean, according to Dateline. So that was like one of the big revelations that came out was, you know, his sister said that, you know, she kind of thought that he could have been involved in this because he lived in the area. He drove a white Hyundai Elantra. She said that she told other family members about it, I guess, and they went outside and they checked his car. But the officers that were talking during the Dateline episode said that they had witnessed him washing his car with bleach. So I don't know what that looks like for evidence. I know that they can test and they can, you know, do like Blue Star and it'll show up like that they tried to clean it, but then you're not going to get DNA because it's bleach. It's going to kill it. Lawrence Jones. I think you're right, Dana. Yeah, Lawrence. That sounds familiar. I can see the name on the screen. He's cute. Don't tell my boyfriend. Oh, is Boo back at the hospital? I hope she's doing okay. So, LJD3. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to get that name. I don't know why. But from like, what was I going to say? I can't remember. Oh no, okay. Way back in the beginning of this like case, right after they like kind of arrested Brian, maybe like January sometime, middle of January, I'd say. I brought it up on a couple different lives because I just thought this kind of made me think of him. But you know that show, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's on ID Discovery and it's called See No Evil. And it's about these people that have like serial killers or just like really bad, horrible people in their family, and they grow up with them as like their brother, sister, parent, and they have to deal with them like budding into this like, you know, person that they overall become. And in their mind, they just want to like block it out and be like, oh no, not my sweet little Johnny. So I kept saying like, I wonder if his parents had that inclination. Like they were like, there's something wrong with our kid here. If it is him, you know, or his sisters, or because it'll like show like, you know, a brother and a sister even. So, hey, Melissa. Yeah, so it's crazy. Oh, and then the last thing before I get to this video is the K-bar knife. They say that he bought that on Amazon on April 22nd, 2022, and it was purchased on Amazon before he left to go cross-country road tripping. And if that is true, that's weird to me. I don't care how you put it. I have, like I said last night, I have friends that collect knives. They would have like a stash of knives, not just one fixed blade knife. I don't know. That's just, unless you're going to go like in the woods and hunt. You never know. Oh, wow. Who's from Antarctica? Vinny is a vampire. Look at him. Yeah, we've had him up here forever. Let me get some of these windows out of here. Make sure I don't like accidentally close anything out on us. Okay, so I found this actually earlier and I was like, oh wow, okay. And then there's another video, and I'll show it at the end. It's like a little tribute video for them. So I thought it was really cute. He could have. But well, he left his DNA on that sheath. And just where it is on the sheath, where it's located, I mean, it makes sense to buckle it in and then put your gloves on, but that we won't really know. Okay. So this is going to go over the crime scene and the floor plan and all of that. And
he gets a lot of attention, the accused murderer.
Actually, let me make sure. If you guys are new, I don't want to I don't want to just start a video and I'll say hi to everybody. So, hey, hello, hi, welcome. If you guys appreciate today's case coverage, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel. We are trying to hit 9,000, or is it 9,000 or 8,000? I don't even know, guys. 8,000. I'm getting ahead of myself. 8,000 subscribers by the end of the weekend. We're getting really close. We're over the hump. So we are at 79.58 right now. So we only need a few more. So if you haven't subscribed, you like true crime, hit the subscribe button. If you guys wouldn't mind liking the video, it does send it out to the algorithm, and it really does help the channel grow, and it's free to do. So I'll go ahead and get to Vinny, and I don't normally interrupt him too much, so I'll try not to interrupt him too much tonight.
In the Idaho student's case. Gets a lot of attention, and most defendants do, but this one in particular gets a lot because of the nature of the crime and people wondering how on earth, why on earth? And he's got this background that's a little unusual. And it was a case that went unsolved. It was a case where the nation was looking for a mass murderer. So with all of that, there becomes a lot of public curiosity about how someone could potentially do what he's accused of. And because of that, a lot of attention on this accused killer and his background and everything about him. And there will be a lot of attention on him, obviously, at the trial as well, as prosecutors try to prove the case. It's just the way it is. So, you know, whether it was Ted Bundy or Charles Manson, people like that get a lot of attention. And it's because of what happened inside that house. I mean, it was beyond evil. Beyond evil what took place in there. When you think about the contrast in the lives that these four victims were living and getting ready to embark upon and finishing up college, and then what happened to them. I mean, this is not supposed to happen. It's just not. You know, you're at college, you go away to learn, to grow up, to mature, to experience things, to start to figure things out and get excited about the future. It's not supposed to end there, and not supposed to end the way it did in this case. I mean, it is a huge loss. It's times 4. And you think, you know, they're friends. 2 of them have shared their lives together, Maddie and Kaylee, and the way they died together. It's not supposed to be that way, and it's such a hole that is left. First, obviously, it begins with the families, and then at the university and the community. You know, anytime anyone walks past that area, they'll always think about the evil that was there, but hopefully they'll also remember these 4 students. And not just remember what happened to them, but remember them. Because what happened, again, brutal. So we're going to talk about the students tonight. We'll get to know them a little bit better. But we're also going to take a look at what happened there. You know, did they suffer? What happened inside there, inside that home? How evil, how cruel was this? How depraved was this? I'm going to try to get a better understanding, a better perspective as this case continues to move forward. Monday, back in court for an arraignment. Monday. Court TV will be covering it, obviously. So let's start at the crime scene. Shanley Painter, Court TV legal correspondent, takes us through the layout of the inside of this home where unspeakable evil took place.
Authorities say the murders happened on the second and third floors of the home. The second floor holds the common areas, which include the living room and the kitchen, where those glass sliding doors are located, where it seems investigators believe the suspect could have entered that morning. There are 2 more bedrooms located on this floor as well. The investigation likely points to Xana and Ethan being in that second bedroom the morning of the murders. Towards the back of the home near the kitchen is another set of stairs that leads up to the third floor. Once on the third floor, the stairs seem to lead into a loft area with a bedroom on each side and a shared bathroom. There is a letter M located in the left side room's window, which would seem to indicate this room was occupied by victim Maddie Mogan when she was murdered. And according to a TikTok video posted by victim Kaylee Gonsalves, it seems the room on the opposite side of this third floor would have been her room.
I want to read from you, or play for you, Captain Roger Lanier from the Moscow Police Department, who gave us a few more details. And we know there's gag orders, there's a lot of restrictions on the information. We've gone through the affidavits that were filed, but this gives you, I think, a little better idea of exactly what happened inside that home. What happened to these 4 young, bright students?
We know that the autopsies confirmed the identity of the 4 victims, determined the cause and manner of death as a homicide by stabbing, and determined that it was likely all 4 victims were asleep during the attack. Some of the victims had defensive wounds, and each victim was stabbed multiple times. There was no sign of sexual assault.
So you've got, because of the time of night and where some of the victims are found, Kaylee and Maddie in the bed, and then you've got Ethan and Xana somewhere in that room. Xana, we believe, on the floor. Were they awakened? Who was awake? Who was sleeping? Who realized what was happening? Let's bring in our special guest to try to figure out what was going on here. Joining us tonight from Jacksonville, Alabama, forensic death investigator, professor of forensics at Jacksonville State University, and the host of the extremely popular Body Bags podcast. Joseph Scott Morgan is with us. Good to see you tonight.
You bet, my friend.
Homicide by stabbing. So let's start there. And 2 scenarios. One where the victim is conscious, is awake, one where the victim is sleeping. Do we have any idea what it would be like, what they would realize is happening? You know, even if you're awake, you're probably a little groggy, right? With that time of night, 4 o'clock in the morning. What do you think potentially these victims were experiencing that night as this killer was at work, taking their lives that night?
I wish I could soften this a bit, Vin, but I can't. They were not asleep. They may have been asleep when the attack began, but there was an awareness with sharp force injuries in particular. Some people actually, believe it or not, can be shot and not be aware that they've been shot. Sharp force injuries don't act that way. They go directly to the pain centers, and the more you are stabbed or cut, we have stab wounds versus incised wounds, which are like slices. We can get to that in a second. These are going to rock the pain centers, even if you're in an inebriated state. And again, we don't know much about that status. I know that allegedly Madison and Kaylee had been out that evening. They may have imbibed that evening with a bit of alcohol, but even that is not going to numb the reality of what they're faced with up in that bedroom. And I can tell you, Vin, in pretty sure terms, that this was going to be a bloodbath. You've got 2 victims that are killed in the same location, not just the same room, but apparently in the same bed. One would have had an awareness that the other one was being attacked. We don't know the extent of these injuries up to this point, but it would take probably more than one. As the police officer mentioned in his presser a moment ago, they would have been stabbed more than once. And there's going to be just a copious amount of blood evidence that's left behind in that room, and it'll be focally located, and there will be transfer evidence from that spot that will transfer onto the perpetrator and potentially tracked out of the room. That's important to remember here as well. And also remember that sheath was found in between these two victims on that bed. So there would have certainly have been an awareness. I found it kind of interesting. I guess it was a couple of months back, we had kind of an indication that Ethan, who was on the second floor with Zaina, he may have come to the door in that second bedroom downstairs, on the second floor rather. And there was some indication that he had sustained some kind of trauma to his neck. And of course, we found out later, allegedly, that Zaina had injuries so extensive on her hands, Vin, that it was remarked at one point in time that tendons had been cut. And this is a classic demonstration of defensive injuries, where you have an individual that has an awareness, obviously, and a knife is being grabbed. It's being pulled through the palm of the hand like this, and this is going to cut down to the palmar aspect, through the palmar aspect, down into the structures of the fingers and, of course, the palm of the hand. It would have been absolutely horrific.
This was not, you were hoping that, you're asleep and you don't have the realization, you don't have the pain, you don't have the suffering, but you're telling me that's not the case here.
No.
So let's get to the crime scenes now. In investigating this and trying to put it all together, what are the crime scenes in this case?
It's important, from a forensic standpoint, we talk about primary scenes, and I know as a former prosecutor, you're aware of this. We have primary scenes, secondary scenes, and tertiary scenes. The primary in this case is obviously going to be the home where the kids lived. All right, that's going to be where you will harvest the most evidence in that environment, particularly blood evidence, any kind of trace evidence, certainly the sheath, the aforementioned sheath, and the dynamics of movement. Just to make entry, in the lead up just a moment ago, we see here the production staff has given us an image of these sliding doors, and that's going to be key here, Ben, at the scene, because you're talking about how do you have access where those doors are regularly locked. So if that is a point of entry and exit, when you're making entry, did he have to put his hand on that glass or on the frame? Was he wearing gloves? There's been an indication he may or may not have been wearing gloves. And is there any indication that he was scoping the place out by peeking into windows and those sorts of things, to get a feel for this location before he went in, trying to judge if the individuals inside were asleep and could he get access to them? And, just that area alone is going to be rich, or potentially rich. So we go from primary scene, then we have secondary scenes. And I cannot emphasize strongly enough how important this car is going to be, Vin. We've seen images of it, certainly going down the road when they were stopped, he and his dad going home to Pennsylvania. But Vin, that night when he exited that location and sat in that car where you see him seated right now, if he is the perpetrator in this, and if he was just covered in blood, I have no doubt that he would have had to have had blood on him. Did in fact he transfer that to any of the fibers inside of that car, on the floor mats, the gear lever, the shifter, the steering wheel, any of these places on there? And we've heard a lot about him cleaning up the car, and Ben, the technology that we have right now, he couldn't get this thing clean enough, particularly given what he has allegedly wrought upon these kids in this house. So the car becomes a secondary scene, and of course his apartment. My question is, did he change before he left that location? Do you remember early on they were talking about digging through trash cans and looking for all these sorts of things? That plays into another portion of this as well, when you begin to think about, well, are there tertiary scenes, where stuff could have been thrown out on the roadway or dumped? And then we have his parents' home back in Pennsylvania, where he's allegedly disposing of things there. That again is an example of a tertiary scene. So there's so many layers to this, man. This is such dense material. I don't think I can overemphasize that enough. The trick, I think, for prosecution is, how are they going to wield this in court? What are they going to focus on and emphasize? Obviously the home is a big part of this, but, tracking him vis-a-vis digital signatures and all those sorts of things, that's going to be very important.
As will experts. You're going to need experts.
Yeah, you will. And I made a list of the experts that his team would need. And as you well know, as an attorney, Vin, these don't come cheap. All right. So at a baseline, he's going to need a DNA specialist, a bloodstain pattern analyst, probably tool mark examiner, because we still don't have the infamous knife. They're going to allege that this was probably a K-bar knife, they being the prosecution. You'll have to have someone to counter that, I would imagine. Also a digital analyst. Can you take this to the bank relative to all these pings that are, that he's.
I have a quick question before I forget. If anyone in the chat collects knives or anything, of course I forgot what I was going to say. Now that I paused it, it was something about the stinking knife. Oh, okay. So if you had say you had a K-bar sheath, like knife sheath, but you lost your knife a long time ago, would you, as a knife owner, like if you guys have like a pocket knife you use or any kind of knife, would you put a different type of knife in that knife sheath? Or would you just be like, I'm not using that sheath, because you want to be matchy with your knife? Like you want your knife to match your sheath? Is it a thing like that for guys? Like girls, like, their shoes to match their belt, or their shirt to match like their purse or something. I don't know. I don't know if it was like that for for knives, like one and the same, like, because, it could be a different knife in a K-bar sleeve. That's why I was just asking. So I don't know if anyone knew about knives. That's my friend. My friend is like a knife. He has them all. He has he has like a big display of all these knives, and he spends like top money on these things, like little pocket knives, thousands of dollars. I'm like, what? But he knows a lot about them. So yes, your husband would find another case. Okay. Well, even if you use them, if you're like trained to use those, then you'd have some more than just like one or two. But you wouldn't just take like one cross country if you were just a regular old Joe Blow, like a 27, 28-year-old college student. I'm just going to go buy me a knife to take with me. You never know what's going to happen on the way to Idaho or Washington, I mean.
He's hitting with in this car, maybe a forensic pathologist. But Ben, I was thinking about this, and I thought, I don't know if they're going to want to revisit the bodies again with a forensic pathologist. Can you imagine how striking that would be? Because most of the time, you get the pathologist on the stand, you try to get them off as quickly as possible because it's so horrific. And then to this very interesting point, I think a lot of the public is fascinated by, and that would be a forensic behavioral analyst. And what I mean by that is somebody, they're going to say that because, it has been, at least in the media, it's been proffered that he had an understanding of how crime scenes work and all these sorts of things via criminology training, which, there's nothing in academia that could be polar opposites more than criminology and criminalistics or forensics. And so they're going to, try to, maybe engage with that. And of course, if there's any kind of psychological issues, they're going to want to address that as well. So the team that he would have to set up and that they would have to assemble. And my final thought on this is this: the state of Idaho will have all of these experts, and not to mention, who else is involved in this, and that's the people in Quantico. So they're going to have FBI that are there, and all of their resources are going to be at their disposal. So it's going to be a big hill for defense to climb in this case, just from a physical evidence standpoint.
I was trying to get that to stop and it wouldn't stop. So what I was going to say though, because I saw one of the comments, it says military are trained to use knives differently than the butchery method in this crime. Yeah, he wasn't good at. I guess he had a knife. I don't know what was a filleting job. He was supposed to fillet fish. It was a pay lake. My nephew goes to them all the time. You pretty much like you pay to fish, and then whoever catches like the biggest fish gets to take home like the money at the end of the night or whatever. He worked for a pay lake, and they would fillet the fish there. And I guess his boss said that he would never let him fillet the fish because he was terrible at it. But he also said that he wasn't even good with the customers. And I'm like, how can you not be good with customers? You're 16, working at a fish camp, picking up trash probably, and just smiling at people. How you doing? How you doing? Most people that fish don't want to really talk to you. You know what I mean? Like, unless they're with someone, they like to be relaxed. They're out there with their pole, their beer, whatever. They're in their nature. So I don't know how you could be so bad at that job, but I guess he was. But still doable. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking it's like if the knives were the same size, you could always. What if he? I mean, that would be an idea though. Like you leave a sheath behind that's a different brand than what you're using. Kind of like leaving a different bullet casing. I mean, at a crime scene to make it look like two guns were used or something. You never know. Hey, Tammy Lynn. And then, so let's see what else. Where else was I at? I don't even know. Let's see. I wanted to show you this, but I was going to show you something else first. Because this just came out earlier. And it talks about, so this came out on NewsNation before the live tonight. I can't remember the reporter's name, but it was talking about how, Brian Kohlberger allegedly broke into that female colleague's home. So it kind of goes what we were talking about earlier in the live. And it kind of goes over, I think, a little bit of everything from the Dateline as well.
And now to the Idaho murders case. Suspected killer Brian Kohlberger is set to be arraigned on Monday morning at 9 a.m. This comes after a grand jury indicted him on 4 counts of first-degree murder on Tuesday. And now we are learning more about the suspects from Kohlberger's own family, along with another bombshell allegation claiming the suspect, Brian Kohlberger, was involved in another crime that happened before these murders. Now, this incident involved his female co-worker at Washington State University. According to a Dateline report, someone allegedly broke into the woman's apartment and moved things around. Instead of calling police, the co-worker called Kohlberger, who suggested and helped her install security cameras. But the report says Kohlberger was behind that break-in and used those cameras to spy on her. Let's bring in now NewsNation national security contributor, former CIA officer and FBI special agent Tracy Walder. Tracy, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Always great to see you. So first, let's start with this new allegation, which claims Kohlberger broke into his female colleague's home and how he used this incident to spy on her. What does this claim tell you about Kohlberger himself?
So, look, we have to take all of these as just claims, right? We don't necessarily have multiple sources, reporting that this is true. If this is true, and if this indeed happened, it really does point to his sort of pattern of stalking. I have always believed, it's just my personal opinion, that, the victims in the Idaho Kings Road house were not randomly selected. I do believe that in some way he stalked them, whether that was digitally or physically, we don't know. And so what this could point to is a pattern of stalking in that he was surveilling this person remotely, or in some kind of digital way. So that's what this would help point to.
And another huge claim from that Dateline report involves Kohlberger's older sister. During the time of the killing, she noticed that her brother was wearing latex gloves around their parents' home and that he drove the white car police were searching for nationwide. That sister also suggested her brother was behind the killing. So now we reported that an ID and other evidence was taken from Kohlberger's parents' home. What's the likelihood that his own family helped investigators discover that evidence if these claims are true?
You know, if these claims are true, I wouldn't be surprised that someone in his family suspected that he was involved in this. If he was walking around wearing latex gloves consistently, you know, dumping his trash in neighbors' trash, and even going through his own trash and making sure that there was nothing suspect in it. He drives a white Hyundai. He lived close to the scene of the crime. You know, I think those are all valid inferences, quite frankly, that members of his family could have made. But I could see people being on both sides of the fence. I could see his sister perhaps making a claim like this, and someone like his father sort of in a way brushing that off. I would imagine it's very hard to be a parent and have a child being accused of something so heinous.
Certainly, I can't imagine. So instead of holding a preliminary hearing, as you know, a grand jury indicted Koberger for the murders, but a grand jury proceedings, those are secret, and the defense does not get to question witnesses or hear the case presented. So why do you think prosecutors opted for the grand jury in this case?
You know, I think that they probably opted for the grand jury and that they most likely had a preponderance of evidence. Quite frankly, I remember as an FBI agent going and testifying, you know, in front of grand juries, and basically, you know, my boss telling me, if you don't get an indictment, don't bother to come back. Typically, when you go through to a grand jury indictment, you want to make sure that you have more than enough evidence to present that is going to return an indictment. And I think that in a way, they wanted to be able to just provide the defense with a transcript of this, which the defense will get, and not have to lay all of their cards out on the table.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television.
I hate when they do that. It scares me every time. It scares me every time. But they kind of went over like what we went over. Big Banana, hello. I like the name, that's cute. I was trying to read some of your comments too. I think he's going to ride this thing out. If he's guilty, or I mean, if he's innocent, he has to ride it out. But in my opinion, it's kind of in favor of him being guilty. I mean, there's not a ton of evidence on him, but there's no other evidence on anyone else either. So it's kind of like you have to kind of look at it from both ends, you know, a little bit of the spectrum in a way. So yeah, I was just reading some of your guys' comments. Hello from Columbus, Ohio. Oh, you think the animal hair they found in his apartment, if the dog might be of the victims? Yeah, if they find Murphy's hair, if that's Murphy's hair, or if for some reason he didn't clean that car as good as, you know, the cops may think that he did, because I mean, he may have used bleach and stuff, and I don't know how you would do that on your car. Like, use bleach, you would notice that right away. But if he did all of that stuff, you know, I mean, that's still gonna look guilty as F. Still looks guilty. Ah, I don't have my flag. Oh, there it is. I got one. Red flag. I'm going to wave the orange one, I think, on Monday just for him, just because I didn't get to wave it for anyone yet. Everyone went to court. They went to prison. Speaking of which, I wonder how Letitia's doing in prison, and Lori. I hope they're doing it horrible. Yeah, clean up all you want, always leave something behind. Yeah. You really do. Like, even if you're a clean freak like me, I still, you know what I mean? I could come back a minute later and be like, wait, what happened? Maybe it's the animals. I don't know. Something going on. I think that we got everything from the, Dateline. I was just trying to see. Trying to see if there was anything else. I want to show you, and I was going to show you another video too. I was going to see if there was anything that they had posted recently also. I don't know if there's anything we didn't go over. Who said it wasn't? who said it wasn't Murphy's hair? I don't know. They don't know whose it is, I don't think yet. They're doing testing. I'm sure that they got samples from Murphy when, they had him. Or Jack probably brought him in if they needed him. Yeah, they took the vacuum filters, yeah. Yeah, they were taking it all. But I guess at his apartment, and this isn't like, to me, this doesn't sound weird to me, but I guess that all his apartment, all the trash was changed and everything out of it. But I mean, he was technically leaving for a couple weeks to go back to Pennsylvania. So I could see why you would take your trash and everything out. But if you're looking at it, in an investigator's mind, they may be thinking like, well, hey, he was throwing, stuff out that we might have needed. So. Okay, so we'll listen to this, and then I'll go over the court stuff again before we jump off the live. That way everyone knows what's going on Monday. And this is Vinny again. Vinny's back. And I didn't get to watch all of this one. It's like remembering the victims, it says, though.
The criminal complaint charges you with the felony.
Sorry, guys. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play this, and I'm going to try not to pause it too much for you guys. I try not to pause them too much, because that could be rude. But if you guys don't mind, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We do talk true crime here every day, different cases, but we have been covering the Idaho 4 since it happened, but we cover anywhere from 3 or 4 cases on this channel, and we're about to be loaded up because we have a lot of people that are going to trial. So lots of stuff going on in the true crime world. So if that's what you're into, don't forget to smash the like, smash the subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be alerted to all new content.
Offense of burglary. It alleges that the defendant, Brian C. Koberger, on or about November 13th of 2022 in Latah County, state of Idaho, did unlawfully enter a residence with the intent to commit the felony crime of murder.
On November 17th, autopsies were conducted, and the Latah County coroner confirmed the identity of the 4 victims. The cause and manner of death was homicide by stabbing.
These tragic murders took 4 young, vibrant lives from our community. Nothing we do can bring them back.
Like I said off the top, there will inevitably be so much focus on the accused killer in this case, so let's take some time here and take a closer look and learn a little bit more about the victims in this case. Court TV's Julie Grant has that for us tonight.
On November 13th, 2022, at around 4 a.m., 4 college students were brutally murdered. Each would soon become household names, known for their deaths, but remembered for their lives. Kaylee Gonsalves, she was 21 and born in Concord, California. Her family describes her as sociable, strong, and a hard worker.
Kaylee was our middle child out of 5. She was always competitive. She was smack dab middle, so Steven and Olivia were a little bit older. Autumn and Aubrey were a little bit younger, so she kind of had to figure out where to fit in, and she definitely did.
Maddie Mogan, also 21, was best friends with Kaylee since childhood. Maddie's family says she was known for her offbeat humor and her ability to make others laugh and smile.
She was so great. She lit up every room she'd come in, and she was just so positive and fun, and we love her and miss her so much.
20-year-old Xana Cornoto grew up in Idaho and was a talented gymnast as a child. In high school, she played volleyball, track, and soccer. Xana was going to school for marketing.
Xana was such a light in my life and so many others, and she knew and understood me more than anyone. Losing her is the hardest thing I've ever had to go through, and it has left me heartbroken.
20-year-old Ethan Chapin loved sports and country music. He was Xana's boyfriend, a triplet who was incredibly close to his family.
We are eternally grateful that we spent so much time with him. And I want to remind you that that's the most important message that we have for you and your families, is to make sure that you spend as much time as possible with those people, because time is precious and it's something you can't get back.
What a group of young folks. What a loss. What a loss. Let me bring in our guest. Joining us tonight in New York City, psychotherapist, host of Talking Live and the Bite Size podcast, Dr. Robbie Ludwig is with us. This is really difficult, right? This is incredibly difficult, and it hits so many different people. You know, when you're in college, right, and let's say you're a member, whether you're in a fraternity or it's a classmate, and someone is taken so young, that's something that you're not going to forget. So the family's devastated, but this is something that is bigger than that, is so much bigger than that, is really going to affect so many people.
Yeah, I mean, it's so devastating. And when we talk about these cases, often we learn about the victims, but we don't focus on them because I think it's just too painful and it's too close for comfort. We don't feel comfortable knowing that anyone can be vulnerable to this. You know, so I think when we see these cases, these young kids that can represent our son, our daughter, our sister, our brother, that it's really just a sense of vulnerability. As one mother said, you don't know how much time you have left. And when we hear these cases, this should not have happened. And the one thing I know in working with survivors of murder victims is that this devastates their life. It's like they live with this heavy heart and this sense of lack of resolve because of the way their loved one was murdered. So yes, it's felt by the community, it's felt by the families, and it's felt by the public, and leaves us all with a sense of why and how can we prevent these things moving forward.
And I think for a lot of parents that I've spoken to in cases like this, they don't want their children forgotten. They don't want them no, let's remember them. Let's not forget what was taken, what was lost, and what they had contributed up until that point. Here's Steve Gonsalves, Kaylee's dad, who's been probably the most vocal of all the parents who are suffering in all of this. Let's take a listen.
For me, I don't even know if it's a strength. It's more of I got 4 kids that need a dad, and I have a wife that's struggling, and someday I'll deal with all the repercussions. But today I have too much responsibility to, crawl up in a corner. I don't think that's my style anyway, but someday I'm going to have to figure out how to deal with this, but just not going to be today.
And I think for these families, as this process now begins on Monday with an arraignment, a lot of times I guess that becomes the focus, and it's difficult to go through, but it's almost a distraction, right? It's a distraction where you have focus and they can have a goal that, listen, we want justice. We want the truth to come out. We want justice at this point.
That's exactly right, Vinny. So, during the trial, it's going to be painful because we will hear all of the gory details, and that will be very devastating. But there is the hope that justice will be served. And so at the end of the day, the perpetrator will be punished for his crimes and will serve the rest of his life in prison. But that never fully resolves the issue. It's something to look forward to and to hope for, but the loss is a loss, and the feeling powerless to protect those you love never goes away. And so the goal is obviously for parents and family members to figure out how do they make their child's legacy purposeful and helpful to others. And I think if people can get to that point, that really helps with healing and finding a new purpose within the new structure of their life.
And it can also put a stress on a family, a family that is very close and loving and together, something like this. We've seen that unfortunately happen, that it breaks families, and it's not anyone's fault. It's just it's the fault of the killer, obviously, or the person who abducts the child and takes the child away from the family. But ultimately it can have that impact as well.
Absolutely. So we know that for families that lose a child, it increases the likelihood of divorce. I think in part because people grieve differently and they have different needs, and men sometimes grieve differently than women and not at the same time. And so that disconnect can forge a wedge in a relationship that's struggling. And we don't really have so many options for parents, right, to go to counseling and welcome that and say, listen, this is a tough road and here's how you can get through it. And sometimes just people want to move on and forget, and being in a marriage where that kind of trauma happens, staying in that marriage is just a constant reminder. So people react to a murder or death in very different ways when it comes to marriage. But hopefully parents can find support, and there are grieving support groups, and there are special grieving support groups for those who are murdered, because it's a different kind of grieving process.
And it's got to be difficult because they feel like, well, my child is gone, and why do I feel this way? Why do I need help? It was my child who needed help, and they may ignore their own needs. And let's hope that none of that happens, because they're all, as you said, they're all victims in this. They absolutely are.
Sorry, I was looking for something really quick. Oh, I just now saw Mary Beth said she purchased memberships and she got charged, but they didn't get dispersed. I'll have to look at that. I thought I saw something in the chat like way earlier. That's why I'm all the way back. But now I can't find it, so that's okay. I'll go back down to all the way back down to here. It's been a minute since I've been down to this side of the chat. Well, Big Banana's just giving out drinks and everything. Cake, drinks are on them. Mary Beth's going to document her bikini journey on YouTube. What are we doing? What's going on there? What's happening? I like it. She said, I'm scared, but I'm going to do it because life's too short. I love that. Yeah, you should do it. Are you trying to... Now, are you trying to like slim down for bathing suits, or are you trying to be like model muscle person in the swimsuits? That's my question. That's because I don't know where I saw this. It was on like Spectrum News. It was a weird news station, but the person that just won Miss Universe for like the bodybuilding contest, she's in like her 70s or 80s, y'all. Like, I don't even know if I can find her picture, but she makes you want to get up and go work out. That's what she makes you want to do. Like, yeah, I'm like not even in my 40s yet, and I'm like, I move and something cracks, and I'm like, her migraines kicking in. You know what? I get Botox for my migraines, but the best thing that I've found other than the Botox, because I have to do the Botox too also, is Advil. I have some Advil like right here. See, they should sponsor me. I always have Advil because it's the only thing that'll help my pain, any kind of pain that I have. Even when I was on pain medication, I went back to Advil because the pain medication just stopped working after a while. A mother's love doesn't end. Oh, that helps a ton with your grief when losing your mom. Oh, I got Vincent right after I lost my mom, like 4 months after. I was like, she sent you down from heaven and put you right where I needed you. Because I was in a great spot. Like, I was fine by myself. Like, I wasn't trying to replace my mom or anything of that nature. But I was at a good spot where I could go on a date and, have fun. And we did. We had a good time. Obviously, we've been together ever since. Shoot. Next year will be 8 years. Oh, girl, I have to roll out of bed for it. I can smoke. Do that too. It does help. I smoke for my headaches. It does help. I feel so bad for migraine. Because I have like a little like headache. I could feel it. I took some Advil. Like, And I hate migraines. It felt like someone was like stepping on my head and pressing on my body and just, ugh. We are a cute couple, Mindy. I'm going to have to put more pictures of him online for you guys to look at because he's just so shy. Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, we've been together for a while. I got some pictures of us over here, like from when we, I think we went out on maybe it was our anniversary dinner for this year. Or maybe we just went out to dinner. I can't remember. But we did something. And one of the pictures, the lighting caught him wrong. And he looks like he's gray and he's not at all. Like he has like dark hair, but like he has like salt and pepper kind of almost. But it looks like all. And I was like, oh, sorry, buddy. Because he came in, he was like, that picture. And I was like, and then I started looking at it. I was like, oh, I did that wrong. I think I put a filter on him or something. But we had fun. We went to remember I told you guys about it. We went to that place. We cooked steaks. I was like, well, that's not fun. I don't want to cook my own food ever again. But yeah, there are pics on the community post. I'll have to bring some more out for you guys. Oh, and then my dog, Vincent, sent me a picture a minute ago, and she had her head buried in the food bowl. She was eating, and I was like, that makes me so happy, guys. When your dog doesn't eat for a couple of days. So when I was exaggerating when I said that it was 4 days last night. Remember, I kept saying, well, maybe it hasn't been 4 days. Because, like, you know, and someone in the comments even said, if it's 2 days, it seems like it's 4. It was only 2 days. Those are the worst 2 days of my life. Like, not of my life, because, you know, I can't say that. Because, you know, I've lost my parents and stuff. But it was a bad 2 days. It was rough. It was rough. Rough. But she's feeling better. So, my doggy didn't feel good yesterday, or the day before. But now that Vincent's here, she's cool. Like, as soon as he walked through that door last night, she was acting like a different dog. And I was like, oh no, you're not doing this to me, lady. But yeah, there was no lineup, a mention of the lineup. I actually mentioned it on here before, like, do you think that they gave the girls a lineup to look at? Like, just particularly, I thought Dylan, not Bethany, but maybe Bethany now too. You never know. Yeah, 2 days does seem like a lifetime when they're ill. Because they can't talk to you. Like, they can't tell you how to... Oh, I don't know. It's just so sad. But I think I'm going to go cuddle with her. That's what I did today. I just laid with her. She loved it. She loved it. Like, she never gets to lay with me because her sister... We have a Weimaraner. I saw Margot says she had a Weimaraner mix, so she can relate. They're very good dogs. They're very good, but they're not. They don't leave you alone. I don't know. I just love them. What happened to Rich? Uh-oh. His soft patch of Chips Ahoy melted when they were in the car for 15 minutes. Man, Vegas heat. You people never know. You have to erase NASCAR to get your ice cream home unmelted. I bet. I couldn't imagine like it being like 100 and something all the time. Thank you, J.O. Thanks, guys. Oh, doggy YouTube, that's cute. They never have anything good on Animal Planet anymore. It's always like Backwards Law or whatever it's called. I can't stand that show. I'm like, this is like about poaching and stuff. Like, I don't want my dogs watching this. Well, fine, Legendary. See ya. He's okay. Thanks for stream. See ya. I'm just kidding. Tomorrow though, we are gonna do lives. I want to do the Oklahoma case again because Nookie's reached out to me and I need to email her back. She's in that area and I want to get her on panel to talk about it and she has information. And then a couple other cases are coming up. I want to do that are new, and then we have some cases that are coming up that are just going to trial that we talked about on last night's live. So we have things to be doing. We got Brian Kohlberger Monday. That's what I was going to go over before we went off, got off the live. I'll just share this with you just so you can see it. Court TV is going to be there. They will be operating, I believe, 2 cameras, and then they're going to have the Lewiston Tribune taking still photos. So we won't be able to stream it live. What they're going to do is Court TV, maybe Law and Crime. I think it's just Court TV though. But Court TV is going to be in there streaming it. And then once they upload it, it's like once they upload it, I'm just going to click live and we're just going to go with it as fast as my little body can do it. I'm pretty quick, I think. Or I'll just get on here like an hour before and we'll just hang out. And we'll know that court will be done eventually for the day. But, you know, we do want to see him and see what I want to see what he looks like, so. 2 untagged pit bulls came up to me. Oh, no, collars, and scared the bejeezies out of me because they were suddenly there. They licked my legs, and I got them some water. Nice dogs. Wow. Do they have to be tagged there? The pit bulls do? Do all pit bulls have to be tagged? My brother has pit bulls. Oh, he actually has puppies. They have puppies. I can't look. I can't look. I looked once. I was like, don't look. Don't you look. They're bullies. They're like the short, like meanie looking ones. But they're such cute puppies. I can't do those dogs though. Like I can just imagine having another dog. But they're really cute. My brother has puppies if anyone wants one. They're like full, I don't even know what they are. I don't know if they're blue nose or what they are. No, I don't think they are. They're just like little bullies. I don't know. They're really cute. And my brother, he used to breed American Bulldogs. He's always been really good with animals. That's like his forte. Jameson said this Brian is drama. He is. What should we talk about on the next live, Jameson? That's my buddy. Me and Jameson used to hang out in the chat when nobody was in the chat. Now look at us, Jameson, 110 deep. Hopefully your family's doing good. And Isabel's probably sleepy. She's probably done for tonight. And her doggy wouldn't go to sleep. He needs to go to bed. See, Summer knows Jameson. I haven't seen you in the chat in a while. Aw. How old are you now, Jameson? Like 30? Like, no. I wish my nieces and nephews would just come in and hang out with me on my YouTube. I don't even know if they know I have a YouTube. I don't know if people know or not. Sometimes I put it on Facebook, but I don't think they know it's me. Because it's like it's like TitaniumBuilt, and it's like a thumbnail. It's not like Tanya or, you know, so I don't know if they know it's even, if it's even me. And I just realized when I was putting them on Facebook that it's on private, and I don't know how to get it off of private so people can watch it live. Oh, your burnt skeleton. Yes, your poor head. My brother's bald. Going for more ice cream. That's so funny. Well, you guys have a wonderful night. We went over, I think, a lot today. So like I said, they're going to start court. It'll be 9 a.m. Central Time. So 12 Eastern Standard Time. I think he's drama. I think he's causing drama in the community, Jameson, for sure. You have a puppy you're getting, Kelly D? Her name's Princess. You already have her name? Aww. Oh, I bet you that's so fun. Jameson's 10? Oh, double digits. You're the youngest one in my chat. That's the cool thing. That's actually the coolest. That's actually the coolest. When I was 10, I would be like so mad about that. I'd be like, I don't want to be the youngest. But believe you me, you do. Well, I do appreciate you guys all coming and hanging out with me. I will be back tomorrow night, or tomorrow, maybe day, evening, we'll do a live. We'll either cover a new case, or maybe we'll just get caught up to, like, I'm debating. Because it's Sunday, I want to kind of go over the old press conferences of the Moscow police, like those ones. Because I haven't heard them but like one time or twice maybe. And I thought maybe those would be good to go over again. But if not, we'll start with something new. Maybe we'll do a poll. Oh yeah, speaking of which, I always close the live out without doing a poll, or without closing out the, I always forget to like end the polls. So 75% of you guys thought yes, no 5%, not sure 14%, yes but had help 5%. The 5%, I'm surprised it wasn't bigger. I mean, I don't think he had help or anything, but a lot of people were making it, you know. They're bringing that up as a theory, so. Oh, Miss Tenfold, there's smokers and tokers over here. God love them. Especially that Edward. But I will see you guys all tomorrow. Have a great night. Don't forget to like the video on your way out. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We are currently at 79 We're 7,962 subscribers. We're trying to get over to that 8,000 mark by the end of tomorrow night. I think we can do it. And if not, don't worry, I won't cry. Maybe a little. Everybody go make a dummy account. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's it. 5% raise your hand, Somerset. Well, thank you guys. You guys have a good evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.